Apparently, Floyd Mayweather is broke.
He owes the IRS, he owes car dealers, he's pawning jewelry.
Which is crazy when you think about it. This man was the biggest name in boxing and made over $1 billion in career earnings.
How many cars you have? Total? Probably 100. I got 3 garages. I parked 40 cars in the inside. There's a place for black cars, a place for white cars.
And now he's losing houses left and right, suing any old business associates.
Floyd Mayweather is suing Showtime and Steven Espinosa for $340 million.
Being sued by women for child support.
Ordered to pay $1 million in back child support.
Because even though he made tons of money, it seems like he spent all the money he had trying to impress people, trying to live this insane lifestyle at all times, even when he didn't need to.
Come out of retirement then, man, right? I got the wheels 4.8, the watch about $2 million.
But I'm Drew, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Not many people could spend $1 billion, but if anyone could, it's this guy. Floyd generated that throughout his career, and now it is legal battle after legal battle, and people are claiming that he's broke.
Well, I know he lost $8 million on a house in Vegas, $54 million in loans. Another house of his just got foreclosed on. What? He sold his plane. Logan Paul says he owes him like $1.2 million. He also owes Dubai royalty money. He's underwater with the IRS.
So the money's really gone. Yeah. That's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight. So is it just his overhead is so high on a with the lifestyle that money is going, right?
It has to be crazy overhead for all the homes he has, all the cars he has, the maintenance for all of that stuff, bad decisions like gambling, millions, tens of millions of dollars, maybe a bunch of child support over the years, and bad investments. I mean, $1 billion, even hundreds of millions of dollars, anything close to $800 million just seems insane to be able to blow, but Floyd did it. Ever since I started my skincare routine, it is the best it's ever been. I have no bumps, no dryness. It's always moisturized and my skin feels great. It's gotten softer and smoother ever since I implemented a serious skincare routine. Now let's go over some of the things that we have going on. Daily face wash to clean your face. Exfoliating scrub to remove dead skin, and when it gets activated, it feels good. AM moisturizer with SPF 20 to protect your skin from the sun and keep your skin moisturized. PM moisturizer to keep your skin moisturized at night while you're catching those Z's. Super serum to improve the texture, healthiness, and overall appearance of your skin. And honestly, this is my favorite. Eye cream to improve the appearance of skin around your eyes and reduce the appearance of dark circles, which I have always struggled with ever since I was young. It felt like no matter how much sleep I got or water I drank, I always had dark circles. But ever since I started consistently using eye cream and my skincare routine, it's gotten much better. And you can get all of this for 40% off when you use my link in the description down below, along with the free gift valued at $20. So thanks again to T. Henley for sponsoring this video. Use my link in the description and get your skincare routine started today. It's gonna make all the difference this summer.
Guy was flossing $100 million checks that he hadn't cashed yet.
You know what a $100 million check look like? I can show you. I bought myself out my contract from Top Rank for $750,000. When I left them, the McGregor, the Pacquiao, and the Canelo fight, I made $750 million.
The idea that Floyd could ever be broke just sounds absolutely ludicrous.
Mayweather didn't retire and go off into the sunset with his massive $1 billion in his bank account. He just continued fighting. He fought in Japan in an exhibition and got a good paycheck for that. He fought Logan Paul and ended up taking all the money and not even paying Logan Paul for that event.
Those exhibitions are really weird because why would Floyd Mayweather, who's considered by some the greatest boxer of all time, I personally think that's Muhammad Ali, but you could say he's the GOAT of an era, right? Why would he be fighting all these weird exhibitions with these no-names, with the Pauls, with anybody else? What sense does that make when he's Floyd Money Mayweather? Unless he needs the money.
He then went on to fight Deji, a YouTuber. He TKO'd him in Dubai. He comes to England at the O2 Arena and fights.
I didn't even know he fought this many times.
Aaron Chalmers. The next year he fights John Gotti III. Let's just say right now, no one spends like Floyd. Your average billionaire you might see in some night.
Yeah. Y'all remember when he was sitting courtside next to Jay-Z and Beyonce? He was pulling out stacks of cash and counting it courtside at a game. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? How corny are you? Usually the more money people make once they reach a certain level, once they get it past the young rich level and you actually start accumulating and building wealth, the less money you show because you don't have to. Real millionaires and especially billionaires are inconspicuous. They would be walking in the store with you and you wouldn't even know because they're wearing normal clothes. Once you really get money, you don't have to be flashy. You don't have to show it off. And it's like that switch never really flipped with Floyd.
Suits and with the best things in life, but Floyd took things to a whole nother level. Added to that clothes was the jewelry.
Look how stupid that looks. That don't even look cool. That don't even look impressive. It just looks stupid. One of those chains, the smaller one, the shorter one, would be enough to impress anybody. Why do you need 6, 7, 8 of them? Why?
Take 30 watches with me. If we add 10 more days, I take 10 more watches. But then I say, it. If I want to bring out the one and only, then I bring out the watch that costs $18 million.
It just doesn't make sense because everybody knows you're Floyd Mayweather. You don't have to impress anybody. We think you're a billionaire. You made over $1 billion. Why would you have to wear anything to impress anybody?
Floyd Mayweather bought multiple properties all over the world.
I think when 50 Cent bought, who was that? Was that Tyson's old mansion or George Foreman's? It was somebody's mansion he bought in Connecticut. I remember him saying he was spending like $30,000, $40,000 just on maintenance.
Each of these, of course, come with ridiculous amounts of cars that he would buy outright. Floyd Mayweather just bought numerous cars for each mansion and filled up the garage, looking like some real-life GTA.
You can only drive one car at a time. I guess maybe he lets his team drive the cars, but why do you need all that?
How many cars you have? Total? Probably 100. I got 3 garages. I parked 40 cars in the inside.
There's a place for black cars, a place for white cars.
And then we got trucks. In LA a little wild. The roads are really not good in LA, so we normally just drive trucks.
And I'm loving the retired life. Okay. Still making 7 figures a month for the rest of my life. Smart investments. So I really want to thank Al Heyman.
I think he's suing Al Heyman right now.
There's other side quests he's done, like Betterfy, launching his own brands, but none of these are actually standout players. Floyd Mayweather comes across on Instagram like the best businessman ever, but when you look into some of these companies, there's a lot of money that goes in, but nothing really gets built that's sustainable.
Just like most people on social media, most entrepreneurs, it's easy to make something you're doing look successful or lit when you're pouring money into it, but that doesn't mean it's successful or you're making money from it. If anything, a lot of these businesses for Floyd have been money pits.
Like the gym franchise project he got involved in, they was going to build gyms and use his name. It ended up that the staff wasn't even getting paid and was calling out Mayweather to support them. He completely disassociated himself from that project. Sometimes when you start running out of money, sometimes you're in denial and you start looking around at how much you made and where it's all gone. And Floyd Mayweather did and decided to sue Showtime for $340 million over financial fraud and fight earnings.
Floyd Mayweather is suing Showtime and Steven Espinosa for $340 million. The basic gist of it is as follows. Heyman allegedly set up a series of bank accounts under his name and those of people working with him without disclosing the details to Mayweather. Mayweather alleges Heyman then began working with Espinosa to serve as a sort of financial middleman on the boxer's behalf. Instead of going to Mayweather directly, his earnings were deposited into Heyman's network of bank accounts, which he maintained with an associate named Jeff Morris. Those accounts would then transfer the money to Mayweather after deducting Heyman's cut.
This is crazy though. Mayweather retired in like 2017. So you're telling me it's been 9 years and you're just now realizing that money wasn't paid to you correctly? That definitely seems like a desperation move more than anything else.
Business Insider is talking about how he's in debt to jewelers, plus the guy who is his current advisor has been charged and previously in various courts in New York and other places for forms of fraud. Maybe Al Heyman did steal from him, I do not know, but my spidey senses are tingling. It's just happening at a weird time in Floyd's life.
And this Mr. Cornelia actually spoke with the business associate that Floyd was suing for fraud.
$175 million fraud scheme. That associate, Jonah, shared with me private text messages, private images of Floyd signing contracts, and access to private communication with this team. In 2017, Rechnitz and Mayweather became friends, which ultimately led to Rechnitz becoming Floyd's investment manager, real estate advisor, and banking liaison.
I would never want one person playing all those roles or having that access to my money like that. An investment manager, real estate advisor, and banking liaison. That feels like it should be 3 completely separate people that are able to check on one another to make sure nobody's doing anything shady with money. On top of you probably having a financial advisor to watch them, and then you watching the financial advisor and everybody else. None of these situations ever end well when you just turn your money over to somebody else.
Jonah shared with me that he was not on salary, meaning he only made money when there was a commission on finding a deal. Many have speculated that Mayweather is coming out of retirement for a rematch with Pacquiao because he needs the money. Yes, this is why. Around August 2025, Floyd needed cash money, so he decided to start pawning his jewelry. Here's a text on August 25th, 2025.
Floyd Mayweather pawning his jewelry is insanity. Based on his lifestyle, how broke could he be? How down on his luck could he be that he started pawning jewelry? And of course, he's only going to get a fraction of what he paid for any of that because he paid top dollar.
Jonah's sending Floyd an image of his watch and the word loan below. That represents that watch as being within the group that was being pawned. Here's the second image sent on that day. The top image is a collection of watches that were grouped together for a November loan and that many had been returned after the balance was paid down. The image on the left is an exhibit Floyd included in the complaint. Within this list are 4 of the watches you see in the text message on the right that were included in the group of watches that were pawned.
How about you never spend money on all of those watches? How about you never blow money on things you don't need and you wouldn't have to pawn them to get money back in the first place? How many watches could Floyd need? He is Floyd Money Mayweather. You don't have to prove anything to anybody.
He continues to lie about not knowing that his watches were getting pawned for a loan to fund his lifestyle. What was told to me is that Floyd was running out of money, but at this time he needed money, so he decided to pawn $13 million from his watch collection. He does have his own jet and has flown private for a couple decades, and he has an extensive exotic car collection. But what has been shared with me is that his lifestyle is so expensive that he constantly needs to take out loans against all his assets, and it's fine when he's fighting and making money because he can pay the loans back, but it's kind of like musical chairs.
That happens to all athletes, mostly football players. Once they retire and that money is no longer coming in, but their lifestyles are still inflated, they find themselves broke, in debt, having to file bankruptcy, owing money to child support and everywhere else, and it's just downhill for them. You just wouldn't think it would be that case with Floyd.
Here's Floyd texting about having to give up all of his jewelry and watches and all of his women's bags. Further, he sent the text, "Don't forget about my ladies' Birkins, also that's a part of the $13 million. In December 2025, Floyd texted, "Please keep me updated on my jewelry and Birkins." Back in March, so around 7 months after he began pawning, he texted his pawn shop lender asking about the balance he owes so Jonah knows what the number is. Jonah, as Floyd's manager and the one who handles all the financial transactions, is the one who ensures that all the loans are paid off. The lender responds $1.85 million in checks, $10.8 million in jewelry, and $1.47 million in fees. Floyd received the $13 million for pawning watches in his supposed $100 million watch collection. In case you aren't following, Joel can sell the watches that were pawned if Floyd doesn't pay the $13 million back. But he didn't need to sell watches because he was paid back and made $1.5 million in fees. In the complaint, Floyd discusses pawning his $100 million jewelry collection with the words, "to be pledged or placed in the possession of Joel, a Miami jewelry dealer. The amount received was around $13 million. And then alleges that the consideration received was diverted by Recknitz and not paid to Floyd. I just shared the text messages between Floyd and Joel, showing the accounting of the transaction and that nothing seemed to be awry. This is not the first time Floyd has had to take a pawn loan. Earlier last year, he borrowed $1 million from his friend Avi, the owner of Avi & Co., against his $18 million Jacob & Co. watch. Even though the retail is $18 million, the market value is about $2 to $3 million.
Of course it is, because he's paying inflated prices. He always has. People have made fun of him for that in the past. He'll pay inflated prices for watches, go on social media and brag about how much he pays, but those watches aren't worth that amount.
So Floyd's $100 million jewelry collection is more likely worth a fraction of that. I asked Jonah how much Floyd spends every single month on his team, and Jonah estimated around $1 million. What happens when you can't afford your team's salaries? Here's a video from Floyd's assistant of his entire jewelry collection as they took photos and video of all of the jewelry before pawning. This photo is the same table from the video before with cash on the table, as that was the cash delivered for pawning the jewelry. When you add up Floyd's entire lifestyle, he could easily be spending $2 to $3 million per month.
And he's definitely not making that in retirement, not fighting anymore, hence all these weird exhibitions.
Jonah presents an idea to Floyd Mayweather, as Floyd at the time had 2 properties that were owned in full, however, they weren't being rented out, so they were costing him money every month. Jonah says you should invest that money in real estate so that you can start earning cash flow. In one of the exhibits filed with the complaint, Floyd shows the sale of his Beverly Hills and Miami properties. Instead of having 2 houses sit empty like before, Floyd is now earning almost $4 million every year in cash flow while owning valuable real estate in New York. So it's odd seeing him file this complaint alleging he's been screwed. Al Heyman had to advance Floyd money from this fight because Floyd had already spent all of his money. All of this spending is not new, it's been going on for years. So think about this, it's been 9 years since that fight. Let's assume Floyd spends around $20 million per year, which is pretty reasonable given his lifestyle expenses.
Spending $20 million a year is insane. It's so unnecessary.
That would have meant He spent $180 million since that fight in 2017. Spending a couple $1,000,000 per month blows through this.
It's always so dumb that he had that much amount of cash on him. What rich person has cash like that, and why?
Jonah saved hundreds of private images, screenshots of text messages, and I can understand why he did it. They were dealing with millions upon millions of dollars. Floyd was going broke, and Jonah worried that Floyd was going to start blaming those around him for his financial problems. Back in November 2025, Jonah sent this message to Floyd saying, "I can help continue to create income for you for life, but you need to start saving more money and spending less. Borrowing from a credit line should be for investment purposes, not to pay past due bills because we will have to pay it back." Floyd also claims that 80% distributions to Mayweather Promotions LLC and 20% to be paid to Frist Apex Ventures were diverted by Recknitz. Throughout the complaint, Floyd is claiming that fraud was going on because he only received 80% of the distributions, which is interesting because he signed the operating agreement for that split. This is Floyd holding up the settlement statement of a closed transaction involving his company, Mayweather Promotions, and Frist Apex Ventures. His smile doesn't look like someone who is upset with the deal that just closed. I've seen the operating agreement between these two companies that Floyd signed showing an 80-20 split. And since I promised you receipts, here's the document with the distribution allocation of 80% for Mayweather Promotions and 20% for Frist Apex Ventures.
Maybe Floyd is just signing stuff. Maybe he's getting money deals, not looking at anything, not reading anything, just signing it. And when it doesn't turn out the way he needs it to, or when he doesn't get the amount of money he needs, then he feels like he's been robbed and sues. Probably the same thing that happened with Al Heyman, probably the same thing with Showtime.
Down at the bottom, you can see Floyd's signature agreeing to the terms of the contract. As part of the fraud claim against Recknitz and Frist, Floyd claims IL Frist signed distribution letters as manager of Vada Properties when he held no such office, and by signing as CEO of Vada Properties when he held no such office. This is a screenshot of Floyd's Instagram over a year ago. The picture in the middle is Floyd promoting speaking at a conference about real estate with IL Frist. In the post, IL is listed as the CEO of Vada Properties. Another major allegation in the complaint is that Recknitz orchestrated a $13 million loan from Hankey Capital LLC secured by Floyd's property in Miami Beach, Florida. This property is actually owned by Josh Gatlib and Meyer Orbach. Back in 2024, when Floyd was running out of cash, he needed to sell two properties, so he sold it to the two names I just mentioned, and it was a favor by them. But the allegation is that $6.5 million of that loan went to the purchase of the private jet we discussed earlier in the video, and only approximately $4 million was made available to Mayweather.
This man had to sell a property to people who were just doing him a favor to buy the property and then purchase a jet. Why? Why not just save the money, dog? Why not pay off what you have to pay off? Cut down your expenses. Cut down your staff. Don't walk around with 26'5" security guards. Cut down on buying Birkins for all your women and live a more humble, realistic lifestyle to his money. That is not crazy.
The full accounting is right here. $6.5 million to buy a jet with TBE Aviation LLC as the owner. That's Floyd's private jet-related LLC. The $4 million to Mayweather Promotions is listed, and all of the other allocations are listed with none relating to Recknitz or the other defendants. He also claimed there was another loan of $16.4 million and worded it such that it looks like Frist Apex Ventures took $8.8 million of his money. The money from these properties all became his investment in the $31.5 million portfolio mentioned a few moments earlier, properly managed by the LLC he's suing.
So what I told them is, of course, I wanted my payout to be a little different. Normally the payouts are, at the beginning of the month, but I wanted my payouts to be every week, spread it out throughout the week. Because I'm traveling, family, friends, we're traveling, we're moving around, we're doing different things. So I wanted my payouts to be like that, and everything played out like it played out, and everything was going great.
That sounds dumb. That doesn't even make sense. Why would anybody need or want to get paid weekly with large amounts of money when you could just get a one-time payment and manage that money throughout the month? That sounds like a crackhead deal.
And everything was going great.
Floyd Mayweather fathers baby with dancer, ordered to pay $1 million in back child support. Jonah told me that Frist Apex Ventures assisted with paying his child.
Every time any of these athletes, it is the child support that kicks their back in eventually.
Meaning his lawsuit against them is even more perplexing. I found the court documents with his unexpected baby mama. Floyd did not deny being the father and was not happy with the news. He was angry and blamed her for getting pregnant.
Bro got a stripper pregnant at damn near 50.
Here's the child support payments that stopped in December 2024 when Floyd was really having money problems. Floyd was ordered to pay $32,850 a month in child support, in addition to $933,050 in back.
$1 million in back child support and $30,000 a month in child support. Sheesh.
This is how you go broke. I also have a letter from the IRS for taxpayer Floyd Mayweather. This is the notice of levy from the IRS for his unpaid $3.35 million in taxes from 2018. This was sent to Wells Fargo to seize any money in Floyd's Wells Fargo account. And they did the same for his JP Morgan Chase account. Here's an official IRS tax lien document sent to Floyd Mayweather on his property for the amount owed of around $7.28 million for the years 2018 and 2023. This is the collection appeal request Floyd sent to the IRS on why he couldn't pay. The explanation he sent was, need more time to gather the funds to pay in full. This is the IRS about to start seizing his assets. This isn't a personal loan. Why in the world, if he's made hundreds of millions of dollars, why doesn't he just pay the couple $1 million so he can get the
Don't got it.
IRS off his back? $1.4 million bling tab. The retired boxer asked to pay the $1.675 million owed to the jeweler at a later date. The jeweler also alleges that Mayweather submitted 5 checks that bounced. Floyd Mayweather sued for $330.
Bounce checks is crazy work. Why are you even still buying anything at this point? He should be in liquidation mode, selling every single thing that he doesn't need, getting out of debt, and just figuring out his baseline for living a more slowed down, less expensive Floyd Mayweather life. Do the Pacquiao fight and then just live off that for the rest of your life. But Floyd can't do that because he has to be flashy. I'm telling you right now, if Floyd Mayweather can go broke, anybody can go broke. When you make money, save and invest it. Don't ever worry about impressing people, because the same people you try to impress are going to be the same people laughing at you when you go broke. And we see that as clear as ever with Floyd now. But shout out to my channel members. Thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.